Alright, I'm going to do a quick rant video. As some of you guys know, I kind of got the shits of Apple. I'm not a fan of their new way that they're doing things with doing a third year, basically, of the same phone. Nobody can argue that the iPhone 8 is the same shit that they've been doing for 3 years. I wasn't happy about that. I wasn't happy about the way that they're doing the X. Bumping up the phone price for something that really was the upgrade, and now they're going to pull that. I'm not happy that they're jumping right from 64 gigs to 256 gigs. I have 128. That's the magic spot for me. I don't want to pay more for more of a device that I don't need. A lot of little shit that's kind of been annoying me with Apple. I have an iPhone 7. I don't think they just work anymore. Back with the 4, the 4S, iOS 6, 7, everything just worked. Everything was on point. Going from iOS 8 and above, there's a lot of little just goofiness things, little lags. I'm not going to say it's horrible. We'll get into my other experience with this. I'm not going to say it's horrible, but there's little things that just have been annoying me with Apple. I figured I'd take the step and go back to Android. I haven't touched Android for, I don't know, 6-7 years maybe. So I figured maybe shit got better. I went and got a Galaxy S8 from Best Buy on Friday. Talked to the Samsung rep. Everything's great. Everything works. It's not like Android used to be, not like Samsung used to be. So I bit into the hype. I tried it out. Got an S8, got it in my hand. I loved it. It was a fresh phone. It felt good. The glass felt good. The iris scanner worked pretty good. Low light conditions in my house didn't always open. I found out you have to have it up to your face first, and then hit the side button or the touch haptic button for it to open up, and then it would grab you immediately. If you already have the screen on and you swipe up and then look at it, it didn't like to grab it that way. So once you figure out that caveat, it worked good. The OS stuff within Android, it was different. I would have been able to get through it and work through it and be fine with it, as long as everything worked the way that they told me it worked. My main concerns were, where do my contacts and stuff get stored? Can I always be backed up like iCloud? Will my music play on all my devices? I got 40 gigs of music alone on my phone. Will that stuff play? Will I be able to upload to YouTube, which I haven't tried out on that phone? And will it work with Android Auto? I know, first world problems, snowflake problems. I wanted Android Auto to work. I use CarPlay. In my Mustang, I have an App Radio 4. I specifically set that up because I wanted to use navigation to go to shows, go to events, stuff that I don't know where it's at. I like the integration with Siri, even though I think Siri is retarded. She doesn't work most of the time, never really has. I still think Siri is a beta thing after, I don't know, what's it been, 6 years with Siri? I still think Siri's pretty beta. But they said everything's just going to work. So fast forward to yesterday, I go and get a wireless charger. I was going to go into this ecosystem, got the wireless charger, got a cable, and actually got to return another cable. Got a cable to take off my lightning cable and put in the USB-C into my Mustang, get all that running. So I go and plug in the USB-C into the Mustang, says incompatible device. What the fuck? So I tried the other USB port. Turns out the USB 2 on the Pioneer devices are for Android devices. Pulled the whole unit out of the dash, pulled the dash apart, get it out, put that in, incompatible device again. It looks like Android Auto wants to start. It'll change the screen a little bit. But like the whole screen is blank. Like it gives the background, that's the standard background that I have set, and none of the menus come up, none of the apps, but I can see Android Auto on the screen face. So I fucked around with this, did all kinds of research. I'm a pretty technical guy. I can figure it out. If there's a way to fix it, I can figure it out. I saw that Pioneer has some information on their site about beware of USB-C cables. Make sure they're authorized, or not authorized, I forget what terminology they use, certified cables. Kind of like Apple used to do with their lightning cables, because every third party was making lightning cables. These are just standard USB. It's pins on one side going to one kind of connector, pins on the other side going to the other kind of connector. There shouldn't be certified, uncertified cables because there's no chip inside it like the lightning, as far as I know. There's no decoding, and none of that stuff is happening inside a chip. It's not a smart cable. It's just a cable. We have USB-C stuff at work. We use it for display stuff on laptops. New laptops have USB-C ports, or whatever you call them, Thunderbolt 3, and it seems to work fine. But in the car it didn't. So I found that they said there's certain certified cables. Go grab another cable, no worky. So I'm on 3 different cables and I can't get this fucking thing working. Tried iOS update, or not iOS updates, firmware updates on the Pioneer device. Nothing. I couldn't get it working. So I have 4 cars. So I said, okay, let me go and try each one of those cars. Come out, and I'll post the other video. Plug the S8 into my Infinity, my 2014 Q50. Click USB. Says USB not recognized. No matter what way I changed the USB handling of that device, it did not connect. So I went out to my Mountaineer. Has a very crude, old school Sony head unit, single DIN, with a USB port. Plugged it in, select the USB, said USB not compatible or not recognized. Similar shit that I was seeing on my Pioneer. Go in, try it in the Mustang, and you'll see videos, same thing. The only thing I didn't try it on was my 2016 Veloster. From my experience, it's probably going to do the same thing. I mean, it comes down to the point where it's not recognizing USB-C. My iPhone, as much as I'm getting the shits of Apple and say stuff doesn't just work anymore, I'm starting to see that stuff like this. I can plug my iPhone into any car. I've owned so many cars, and every goddamn car and device and everything I plugged it into, that thing picks it up. The only issues we had was back when Apple first went to the Lightning devices and kind of shook the world up. You know, there was some incompatibility stuff with that, but as long as you were using Apple cables, everything was working good. So fast forward, I call Samsung support to say, hey, have you guys been getting reports of people saying USB-C, USB-A to USB-C cables not working in the cars, not picking up the USB device? I don't think the guy knew what I was talking about. Obviously I was calling India. He said, yeah, no problem, go and buy an adapter. I go, what kind of adapter do you want me to use? I don't even know what that means. He goes, I don't know. I go, what do you mean you don't know? You tell me to get an adapter. You say you don't know what kind of adapter. He goes, you know, the one that goes from your car to the phone. I go, I don't know what that means, because my car has USB and the phone has USB-C. So the phone is USB, or the car is USB-A. The phone is USB-C. I was like, you guys provide the cable. You manufacture the cable that does this. I was like, so what adapter do you want? He goes, I don't know. I go, well, if you don't know, transfer me to somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about, because you're obviously not technical. I go, have you ever touched a USB-C, the USB-A cable in your life? He goes, yeah. I go, can you go grab one right now to look at it so you understand what we're talking about, so you can see how ridiculous this is? He goes, oh, I'm very familiar with USB-C. I have an iPhone 6S. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm talking to Samsung support, and you fucking told me you have an iPhone 6S. So I pretty much ended that conversation at that point, but I told him, I said, so you work for Samsung and you have an iPhone 6S. If that was Apple, if you worked at Apple and had a fucking Samsung on your desk, you would be fired. I'm pretty positive that would happen. So obviously Samsung doesn't have the same standards, probably because Apple gives them free phones and shit like that. But the second thing is, I said, if you don't understand that your iPhone has a Lightning cable, USB-A to Lightning, and not USB-A to USB-C, you should not be doing technical support. I'm a pretty technical guy. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I mean, I do IT for a living. I know my fair share of technical shit. There's a lot of shit I don't know, but there's a lot of shit that I do know. As if you don't know that your device is not the device, the company you work for, and it's not even the same fucking plug, how are you going to say you're very familiar with it because you have an iPhone? So I was done with that call. I got to the next person. They couldn't help me, so I just said, fuck it. I went down to Best Buy and say, hey, you guys told me this shit just works. You know, bring your phone out here and show me it just works. They said, oh, no, you know, it works on my car. It goes, is your car outside? No, my car's not outside. Oh, my phone is dead. Oh, the guy that's got the phone that works isn't here. Nobody could show me it works. So I said, let me show you it doesn't work. We go outside. I'm in my Q50 right now, as you can see. We go out to my Q50, I pull it up front, plug the shit in, say, look, it don't work. USB not recognized. He goes, oh, give me your phone. Give me your phone. It's a setting. He goes, sorry, I'm scratching my nose. My nose is itching. He goes, oh, it's just a setting. He's fucking ding, dang, boom, 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 clicking all kinds of shit. He can't get it working. So I go, hey, you got an S8, right? Plug your S8 in, and let me show you it doesn't work on yours. You say it works. He plugs this shit in, says USB not recognized, just like I said it was going to do. He's flipping around. He goes in Android Auto. I was like, dude, Android Auto is completely irrelevant to this situation because it's not even picking up USB. I don't give a shit about the Android Auto because this car doesn't support Android Auto. I just wanted to recognize USB, and I want my fucking music to play. I got 30, 40 gigs of music. Can I stream a Bluetooth? Absolutely, I can stream a Bluetooth. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to plug in the phone sometimes and have it play. My Mustang is an issue because I use it for navigation. I use it for, you know, all these other things that I use Apple CarPlay. You can't use Apple CarPlay over Bluetooth. So this guy was like, oh, you know, let me see if there's a guy here with a Note 8. A guy here, you know, he's not here with a Note 8. I go, okay, I'll wait. I waited for an hour, whatever, fucking around. Still can't prove it. He goes, oh, this guy over here's got a Note 8, but his battery's dead. I was like, you see why I'm cynical, because you keep on saying all these people, it works for everybody here's got a Samsung device. Not a single fucking person can show me it works. He goes, oh, I went a Chevy Cruze and a 2017 Hyundai and it works. Like, okay, do you have it here? No, I don't have it here. It's not my car. Okay, so I said my point is I own 4 cars right now. None of them work in any scenario. 2 of them OEM units, 2 of them aftermarket units. They don't work. I rent cars. I want it to work. I buy new cars. I just want to plug the fucking phone in and have it work. Other than that, I hated returning that phone. I mean, they returned it. They wouldn't try and charge me a $35 fee. I said, no, this is a core thing. Doesn't work. This is defective in my eyes. I'm not paying $35 fee. He understood. Gave me the refund, and he said, you know, I hate to see you go backwards. And I said, I do too. I love this phone. I think it's a great phone. It feels great. It works great. There's some OS things that I can get past after I work with it. Like anything is new, you know, I'll figure it out. I'm a smart guy. I can figure it out. I was like, but there is a core thing. If I cannot plug my phone into any one of my vehicles, what's to make me think that it's going to work in any other vehicle? So I returned it, and I'm recording this on my iPhone 7 that I think is a pile of shit. So that's the way it goes. I'll post the other videos later. I'll interlace them in so you can actually see what it's doing. Nobody can figure out. Maybe it works on some cars. My cars aren't working. I'm not going to invest and get rid of over $100,000 worth of cars that I have sitting in my driveway just get a fucking $750 phone working. So I guess I have to stick and be a sheep and stay with Apple. I'm not going to support the 8. I refuse to. I have a hard time supporting the 10. I'm not paying $50 a month for that goddamn phone. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm sticking with my 7 and dealing with its issues until, I don't know, until something better happens. So I'm signing out. I'll post some other videos later showing the experience.